Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and discuss Battlefield 1 tanks right now. Uh, so I just watched a video of a guy complaining about tanks in BF1, and in this video he goes on to say that he was by himself on a flag, no teammates around, and a tank or somebody spotted him, maybe a sniper, across the map, couldn't get a clean kill, and the tank took him out on the objective like midway through. I guess he was playing Conquer Hill. So are tanks in Battlefield 1 overpowered? This is getting tossed around a lot, but then I see this with like the A10. The A10's already overpowered at range. Its range just needs a nerf, which is, logical. But people think the heavy tank is OP because of the auto repair. The auto repair for the heavy tank has like a 50-second cooldown. It feels like a minute sometimes. So where you'll use it, it's emergency repair, you'll use it, and then that thing is on cooldown. So if you can get a guy or a tanker with it on a cooldown, you can take out the tanker easy. Now the problem is in Battlefield 1, a lot of people don't take out the heavy tank, and they also engage a heavy tank based on a numbers game. So what I mean by that is, I could have the flame tank, right, the one that just looks like from the Gates of Hell. And that tank, two assault guys could take out that tank if they're good, meaning they attack from the back, because there's no guns in the back of the tank. So if you can attack the flame tank or a heavy tank either from the side with no gunners in them, which sometimes is actually all the time, a heavy tank will not have gunners in his side. But if you have a squad of people in a heavy tank, it becomes much more deadly and could be really a problem. So the heavy tank that, in my opinion, that you really need to be careful for isn't the flame tank so much as it is the breakthrough tank. The breakthrough tank has no countermeasures. It does have an auto repair, and it has health and ammo drops to rack. Like you could basically play a support guy, a medic, and in a heavy tank as well, all in one package. But the breakthrough tank's also good against other vehicle tanks. So other tanks. So if I see a flame tank, look, that flame tank's gonna have to shoot off 6 rounds to take me out, whereas I'm gonna have to shoot off maybe 4 to take out the heavy. And even then, I'll still have enough armor to dish more damage out. But the breakthrough tank, its shots, its splash damage from its main cannon are not good against infantry at all. It's a vehicle tank. That's what it is. So you can AT rocket a breakthrough tank, whereas flame tank, that AT rocketing a flame tank and succeeding, you're giving away your position, because if I spot you in the flame tank, the splash damage from the primary cannon on the flame tank will just destroy infantry. And then you have the regular heavy tank, which I don't use. I don't use the regular one, even though it's got more seats. I use the breakthrough one, or I use the flame tank. Mainly because I play Kaiser, so when we get to the immense city, you need the flame tank, usually for close encounters, sometimes the breakthrough.
Oh, by the way, his car's out there.
David's? Oh, maybe he is here, I don't know.
Yeah, he must have went off somewhere, because I could have sworn he said he was off today.
I don't know.
I think he said he works all week, but was off today.
So, is the tanks overpowered in Battlefield 1? I don't think so. I think that you need to know which tank you're fighting on the ground. Like if you're in infantry, you need to know which tank you're going up against. And you can usually do this if you sit back and strategically plan. If the tank driver is looking dead at you, you're not planning well. AT mines work, but the chance of getting the tanker to run over them unless you can sneak up behind him, like in the flame tank, for example, where there's no gunner in the back, is possible. Breakthrough tank you could probably sneak up on as well if there's no gunner in the back, but if there is, then obviously it's going to be harder to do. So tanks in Battlefield 1, are they overpowered? In my opinion, no. It takes about 3 assault guys to take out the heavy breakthrough tank with anti-tank grenades, maybe AT mines. It is possible to take out a heavy breakthrough tank, no problem. Now, the flame tank, it's even easier to take out, but you don't need 3 assault dudes, you need about 2 guys. 2 assault guys should take out a flame tank, no problem. if your team is willing to take out the tank. Now, a lot of people say tanks are overpowered, but at the same time, their teammates aren't working together. There's a lot of, remember, I'm level 97, so I'm speaking from my point of view here and from the games I get right now. The games I get right now, teammates just do not work together well, even blueberries. You might get squad mates. You might get squad mates too, like random people that just join your squad. I'll join a Kaiser game, my squad will be open. I'll get all these fucking low levels that switch team and join my squad. And you know what? I give them the benefit of the doubt for the first 30 minutes of the game, maybe, if they're lucky. If they're not near each other or they're not pushing the objective I have marked as a squad leader, I kick them out of my squad and I don't regret a thing. And most of the time I end up kicking people from my squad because they don't pay attention. They don't play the objective. They don't take out a tank after you've spotted. They won't help you take out a tank. Battlefield 1 is mainly a do-it-yourself type game. It's got features there where team play and teamwork should, be a thing, and you would expect them to be a thing. But from my point of view, the reason I use the heavy tank more so now, or even the light tank, is because I'm tired of relying on blueberries and stupid squad mates that don't know how to play the objective, or don't know how to spot, or don't know how to drop ammo or health, or take out a tank if it's near near our position. Things like that. And that bugs me a lot. So I don't think tanks in Battlefield 1 are overpowered. I think they're just fine the way they are. I think the landship needs an armor buff, to be honest, because I can drop that thing in no problem. Heavy tanks are fine. Hell, light tanks seem to die less quicker. In my opinion, at least the Howie kit that I use on my light tank, I can stay alive and get like 68 and 0. Shit's ridiculous. So it depends on the tank. A lot of people say the heavy tank's overpowered, but I just uploaded a gameplay recently where I went like 93 and 1 with the light tank. So it depends on how you use a tank, I guess, right? It depends on the driver. If you got a retarded blueberry driver, and I've seen this, I've seen blueberries in heavy tanks drive into enemy fire thinking they can take on the world, and they get blown up in 2 seconds. Whereas if I drive a heavy tank, I push when I know I need to. I drive away when I need to repair and do stuff like that. Like an example, if a bunch of assault guys are on my tank and then another heavy tank is on me, that's an engagement I can't win. It's either go all in and blow myself up and get myself killed, or try to fall back and recoup what I can and go back in once the blueberries take out the ground units. It's all about strategy in a tank. It's the same when you're not in a tank. It's all about strategy as well when you're not in the tank as a ground unit. A smart infantry ground team can totally take out a heavy tank, no problem. A light tank, no problem. I actually just took out a light tank last game that was trying to blow up a heavy tank, and he was rushing in the thick of it. I don't know if anyone told that guy, but he's driving a light tank. A light tank is supposed to stay back, not inside of fights like that. He didn't do that. Therefore, I blew him up. I blew him up by myself. I used 18 mines to do it, but I got him. So, there's skill. There's skilled players in Battlefield 1, and then there are the bitches that cry, screaming for tank nerfs. I'm not pointing any names, but at the same time, I mean, if you're not level 90 by now or anything, the game's been out at least a month or two. If you're not level 97 or in the 90s or 80s by now, you're doing something wrong in Battlefield. You're either A, not playing it a lot, or you just had bad teammates, and that's the majority of the games I get in, so I can't really sit here and say DICE needs to fix that. There's nothing they can do. All the COD people are still playing the game that I've seen because they don't PTFO or they don't know how to shoot in the side guns of my tank. I think that's why I got a light tank now, is because I'm tired of people getting in the heavy tank with me and not knowing how to fucking play. Amateurs. Anyways, do I think heavy tanks are OP? No. Do I think light tanks are OP? No. Do I think you need a team that knows what the fuck they're doing to take out tanks? Absolutely. Does the land ship need a buff? Absolutely. In terms of its armor, anyways. Other than that, though, guys, tanks aren't OP in Battlefield 1. You can take them out with a coordinated team very easily. You just gotta make sure you plan your attacks properly. If you don't, it could be a life or death situation. If you do, you might live to tell the tale. If not, oh well. But a bad tanker is going to be an easy kill for anybody. A good tanker is going to be a little bit harder. I think that's where people are mistaking the OP-ness for tanks or heavy tanks in BF1 is that if it's a retarded person driving the tank, that guy's going to die within 5 minutes. You get a guy like me, I'm number 2 in the United States for heavy tanks right now. If you get me in your lobby, I guarantee you I'm going to play. If I get really angry, I pull out the big guns. Absolutely. I'll pull out my heavy tank and I'll make you cry. I'll make you cry OP all you want. It's a matter of skill though. Where do I go to flank you? I'm always spotting in games I play. Which routes to take, which routes not to take. Spot the ground, make sure there's no AT mines, etc. A good tanker knows how to play. A bad tanker does not. That's where you think heavy tanks are OP, in my opinion. In my opinion, anyways. And so, that's my thoughts on it. But I'm number 2 for heavy tanks in the United States. So I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm talking about. Do they need a nerf though? No, absolutely not. In fact, I think the heavy tank. I was playing with the light tank, yesterday night for quite a bit. I think the heavy tank dies a little too quicker than the light tank, to be honest, because the light tank has like countermeasure. I got smoke on my light tank where I can pop smoke if I'm in trouble. And man, I can go on rampages with the light tank against infantry. Fuck yes. And even with the Howie kit, I can take out vehicles too. I've taken out several heavy tanks with my Howie kit on my light tank. So no, those are just bad tankers, to be honest. And you can't really blame anyone but your team for that. If they're throwing their tanks and planes away like that, that's on them. So that's my rant on heavy tanks, and do I think they're OP or not? Not my rant, but my discussion of heavy tanks or tanks in general in Battlefield 1, and if I think they're OP. I think the driver that you face, if he's a good driver, he'll decimate your team. Just like a good pilot could decimate your team. And trust me, I've seen those too. So it's all about skill. It's skill with the vehicles. If a good tanker knows that he's getting hit in the back, he'll turn the tank around. If not, he'll just sit there and let it, take it up the ass. But with that said, guys, my name's been Joy. Those are my thoughts on the tanks in BF1. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think they're OP? Or did you just have a bad game with shitty teammates? Because if you lost the match, you probably had a shitty team. That's to be honest. I mean, a lot of games I get in at my level are just bad teammates. Awful fucking teammates. Like, I'll rage at my TV screen. That's how bad they are. Anyways, guys, my name's Enjoy. Leave your thoughts down in the comments, though. Let me know what you think. I think it's, again, just a matter of skill, to be honest. Driver, pilots, whatever. The better they are, the more you're going to die. And the more they're going to pay attention to where they're getting hit from and, learn the flank and all that stuff. So it's responsible for the ground units or people on the ground to flank the tank. If the tank is flanking you, you need to flank the tank. Spot him, pay attention to what his movements, where is he going, if he's going down the same routes, maybe AT mining up so he doesn't notice, etc. Booby trap his ass, bottleneck him, whatever you gotta do. And a lot of people don't do that. They don't work together when it comes to vehicles in Battlefield. I notice this with bombers sometimes in the game. It's just annoying because bombers can be very deadly to a tank and to even infantry if you're not careful. And sometimes pilots on my team have just not shot down other bombers. It's like, why? So those are my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comments. But again, I am the number 2 tanker in the United States, and I can tell you there have been plenty of games where I have struggled in a tank to get kills. And then there are games where I decimate the enemy team. Absolutely. Anyways, guys, my name is Enjoy. Take care. Have a good one.